Hello, everybody! It's been a while, hasn't it? Hello, Kalu. I'm gonna turn down the music. Deafening. Hello, everyone. Kalu, how are we doing today? I'm back! Yeah, a little bit of a detour there at the start of the year, but you know what? That's what we do best here. We do little detours, because little detours are what we do best. Thank you very much. First things first, I would like to thank Whispering With 357 for following, Ark and Liam for following, Bobbith666 for following, and Biggie2320 TTV for following. Thank you all for following. Why would you do that? Hi, I'm back. If you have any questions about the trip, I will answer them. However, we've got work to do because for a little bit of context, I did not have like a computer or anything. I had my notebook. I had two notebooks to be exact. My first notebook, the one I've been using quite often, died horrifically on me. And by it dying horrifically, I had to transfer all of the notes I had in the old notebook into the new notebook. So, yes, I brought two notebooks for that exact reason. So, I've got my new notebook here. Got my other notebook over here. And I was trying to do as much work as I can, but I was in a lot of places where there was no desk or anything like that. So I've been doing what I like to refer to as improvising. So, thank you. Hope you all had a good time. Who let you back into America? The TSA. Because they literally asked me, "Are you from America?" last night. And I said, "I'm a God-fearing American," and just walked right past. They're like, "Shine on, Crazy Diamond." I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, fuck this. I am fucking tired. If I sound a little bit weird right now, when you are on an 8-hour flight, this is something important. If you are on an 8-hour flight, after hour 7, you begin realizing that God is dead. And you're never going to leave the 8-hour flight. It gets extremely long. But I did watch some movies. I read a book, because I try to read a book in every single flight I do. I couldn't buy a book on the way back, so I watched more movies then. But I read Animal Farm. Yes, I have never actually read Animal Farm. I knew the entire plot of Animal Farm. But I never actually read it. But I read it, and it was very good. Thank you very much, WereWombat, for subscribing with Prime. We did not actually read Animal Farm. We were 1984. It was 1984 into Beowulf. That was our a manly co-host. Behold, literally about 30% of Europeans I met. Don't believe we did To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, Beowulf. I love Beowulf. Our teacher was a my high school teacher was a gigantic Beowulf nerd. It was very funny. Damn, the European manly's dead. Fuck, that book's... Lord of the Flies isn't... But, recent business trip to America taught me that most of the people are lovely. Pittsburgh is horribly cold, and what the hell's going on with the giant gaps in your public bathroom stall doors? A few things to note about that. It got really fucking cold this year. But if you want to know something real fucked up about where I am from, it was 70 degrees a couple days ago. 70 fucking degrees. It was insane. I was like, why? Why is it 70 degrees here? And then we get back and it's fucking cold. And my goddamn landlord, he needed to give me my keys back. So I'm standing in the fucking rain. It is freezing. It's fucking cold. And I'm like, I'm dead. Good use of points. Manly is gunned down immediately. Yo, Manly is gunned down nearly immediately. Let me bring up fucking Toaster real fast. Gotta bring up the goddamn Toaster. Here's our favorite toaster, everybody. Hello, Bethany, I believe is what Solid calls her. 80 degrees now here. Goddamn snowstorm hits south. What the fuck is? Yeah, this is America. Yeah, this is America. Truly. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Weather here's been very strange. Oh god, that thing has a name. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. Why? Yeah, did you not know that the toaster had a name? But yes, there's been like, let's see, what movies did I watch? I'm gonna do my best to write down the movies I watch and give you an objective review on all of them. I watched Monkey Man with Dev Patel. This movie was a solid like 6 out of 10. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't very good. And it's not good for the strangest reason. And Monkey Man is not good because it is not about a $30 Bollywood production. Honest to God. Welcome back, I am late. How was your vacation? I miss anything? No, we're just talking about stuff right now. Monkey Man was not bad. You can clearly tell it was trying to be John Wick. That's the thing. Especially when you hear that Dev Patel was like the writer, the director, the screenwriter. It was like, yeah, it legitimately was like his super passion project. The thing is, it's not a bad streamer movie. Like, that's the thing. It's not a bad streamer. If you are really bored and just want an action movie, it's not bad. The problem with it is the entire movie. This is important to know. The entire movie is set in India. That is the core premise of the plot, is that it is set in India. However, because it is made for American audiences, everyone speaks English when they need to speak English important. Any important dialogue is in English. Any not important dialogue is in Hindi. Very fucking weird. That's why I said this movie would be 10 times better if the budget was cut in half and it was by a Bollywood director. Honest to God, if this was made with Bollywood, I think Monkey Man would really do well. But it's like, it's fine. It's not great, but it's okay. What else did I watch? I watched, oh God, I can see it. I'm completely blanking on it. I know on the return trip, I watched Moneyball. Moneyball is a pretty good one if you like baseball. I like baseball a lot. I liked all the actors. I also watched Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus is a really weird movie because I think the first Alien, mind you, the first Alien, 10 out of 10. Fucking amazing movie. Alien Romulus is a worse version of the first Alien. However, that does not make it a bad movie. That's the weird thing. It is not a bad movie. It is just a worse version of a really, really fucking good movie. Would I watch it again? Yeah, I think I would. There is definitely like, hey everybody, remember Prometheus? I'm like, no one remembers Prometheus. No one cares, James Cameron. Please, no one cares about Prometheus, but he's still kind of pushing that. I liked Alien Romulus. I thought it was pretty good. I liked all the characters. Not as good as Alien, not as good as Aliens, but better than Aliens 3, but I think literally anything is better than Aliens 3. I also watched a movie called Wolves. Wolves is really good. It has Brad Pitt. Now, this is the thing. Wolves has Brad Pitt. Okay? George Clooney as a buddy cop duo. It's really fucking good. I really enjoy. Yes, it is Brad Pitt and George Clooney as a buddy cop duo. It is the funniest fucking movie. It's great. If you can find it, pirate the shit out of it. It's an Apple TV movie. It's Apple movie. It was an Apple movie in 2024. They had no promotion for it, but it's yeah, if you can find a pirated version of it, it's really good. I really enjoy it. Yes, and we're talking about movies I watched on the plane. God, I also watched. I'm trying to think. I watched Monkey Man. I can't remember. I can't remember the other movie I watched. I'm going to lose my mind if I try to remember what I watched. You can tell it was a really good movie, I guess. I think it was something. Yeah, like there I watched like I thought all these movies were pretty good. I got Return Flight, I had some pretty good movies. Their Flight, not great movies. But yeah, if you can find Wolves, it's really fucking good. I literally, that's why I watched Moneyball after Wolves. I'm like, I like Brad Pitt. I think Brad Pitt should be in more, like... Yeah, it's... yeah, no, the thing with, one thing with Pittsburgh, Bobby, is, it really depends on where you go. Sometimes they're like that, sometimes they're not. Like... It's weird. I don't know either. Just use it as a power play kind of thing. Stare at people in the other stalls. You know, in case they're taking too long, just being like, hello, I can see you. Yeah, just, again, just do that. Throw them for a loop. You never know. Let's see. What else was fun and exciting? I saw a bunch of museums. I saw a lot of museums. Me and my mom went to the Louvre in Paris, because we did go to Paris. We did go to France. We barely had any Parisian food, though, because she was terrified to order anything. And when we went to a classic Parisian cafe, it was really fucking expensive for some of the most mediocre food available, and I got sick afterwards. Paris sucks. But we went to the Louvre. It was really funny. Because the Louvre fucking sucks. Not gonna lie. Oh man, the Louvre is so... Fuck no. Louvre sucks. You wanna know why the Louvre sucks? There's 3 fucking reasons why the Louvre sucks. Reason number 1. The entire population of fucking Beijing is there. Holy shit. There are so many fucking people in the Louvre, there. And do we speak French? No, we don't. Like, there were so many fucking people in the Louvre. And they were all, like, Chinese tourists. And, like, anytime there was, like, a vaguely famous painting, they would literally take up, like, half the room trying to get pictures. They would get dozens of pictures. They would push and they would shove. It was awful. Number 2 reason why the Louvre stuff. No one at the fucking Louvre has a goddamn walkie-talkie. This is important for the next point, but none of the staff in the Louvre actually have walkie-talkies or communicate with one another. It is infuriating. Because I had to go with my mother. Now, for context, Note Mom has 2 replaced knees. She cannot go upstairs very well. She cannot do stairs very well, so we usually have to take a lift. We take an elevator. Easy enough to understand. Okay. Do you realize how fucking hard that is? When one person will say, the elevator is down. You need to go to another elevator. We go to the other elevator. The person says, no, this is not the right elevator. Go back to the original elevator that you just were at. And we say, well, we can't. It's down. They look at you like you're insane and say, oh, okay. Go to this elevator on the other side of the fucking building. Because the one thing you have to remember about the fucking Louvre, this is important about the fucking Louvre, is that there's a million fucking elevators that all go to different places. And like, I'm gonna draw out what the issue we wanted. Oh, give me 1 second. I gotta sign into fucking Miro. You know it's been a while when I gotta sign into Miro. So, I just want to give people an understanding of what it is. So, me and my mom want to go see Venus de Milo. This is in the Greek statue section on floor 1. This is an important thing to understand. Well, why don't you walk to floor 1? Well, we can't. Let me see if I can find a Louvre map. Like, now mind you, the actual map they give you is dog shit. Like, this is really important. The map they give you to like, oh, let's try to help you like navigate the fucking Louvre. This is the fucking map they give you. It's terrible. But we want to go see Venus de fucking Milo right here. Now, this is a problem. This one, 408, was shut down. We could not go through 408. So you want to know what we had to do? We had to go to M, go down to floor -1, then go over to floor A, and then we would go up. But oh wait, we couldn't go to this section because A was down. So we went back down, went across the entire museum, got back up here, realized there was no lifts or no way to get from this area to this area. So we went back down, looked around. We've asked someone, hey, how do we get here? He told us go all the way to S, go all the way around, but we can't because 408's out. So we say, well, that's not possible. We can't do that. Well, he says, oh, well, just go around then. Go all the way up here, go all the way over here, go down. But wait, we can't do that. You want to know why we can't do that? Well, you're correct. Elevator C is down. So we need to go back up, go to a completely different section, go back down, go look around somewhere else, only to find out an hour and a half later that elevator C was always up. He just lied to us. Then we take elevator fucking C, go down to levels fucking 0, and we finally see Venus de Milo. It was an hour and a half. It was an hour and a fucking half to get. He lied? Why? Because they don't talk to one another. And he didn't care. He's like, yeah, just go over there. We were going, there was a point where I literally lashed out at one of the employees. I was getting mad. I'm like, your fucking guy lied to us. He said, go here, but we can't go here because none of you talked to one. I was getting mad. Because, mind you, my mom's getting tired at this point. There's a million people around. People are pushing, people are shoving. She's got 2 bad knees. We can't do stairs, but sometimes you have to. And these aren't 5 or 6 stairs. These are like 20, 30 steps. That was killing her. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm feeling bad because I have to help her up these things. She's going slow, so people are pushing and shoving, trying to get past her. There's a million fucking Chinese people as well. But I'm going to give you a secret of why the Louvre elevators are the worst fucking thing in the world. I'm going to give you all a big secret. And it all revolves around Lift A. Now, I'm going to do my best to explain why Lift A is really stupid. Lift A, or a lot of the lifts, what will happen is that you will have floor 0. I'm gonna do my best to explain this. So we have floor 0, floor 1, floor -1, and floor -2. These are all of the floors, except the elevators are not labeled that way. Some of them have floor -1 twice, because it's floor -1 written this way, because that elevator goes down a half step. But sometimes the elevator will not tell you this, and you will be on floor -1, but you're not on the right floor -1. Now, imagine going up an elevator with multiple of these, like, half stories. And imagine you're going up an elevator, and these are your options. Like, these are the options you have to choose from, and you want to go to floor 1. What do you click? What do you fucking click in this situation? Well, I guess we'll go to floor 1. Well, sorry, that's the wrong floor 1. You need to go to floor other 1. And now, mind you, there's one elevator. So you have people pressing to go down, you have people pressing to go up, and the thing will just stop randomly sometimes. Because there's one elevator, and there's 15 people. We were stuck in an elevator for 10 minutes because we were trying to go up, and it just kept going down. It is baffling. Absolutely fucking baffling of how fucking stupid the Louvre is set up. I fucking hate the Louvre. I really despise it. Like, yeah. Because mind you, again, I have my mom with me. If it was just me, I think it would be a lot easier. Because if it was just me, 5 steps is fine, 20 steps is fine. I can't do that to my mom, though. She can't do that. So it's like, okay, I was like trying to navigate, and mind you, the map does not differentiate floor alternate 1 and floor 1. It doesn't alternate that, except by a little itty bitty stair. But you don't know if that little itty bitty stair is 5 steps or 50 steps. They don't tell you. So imagine doing that, but also now, I want you to imagine navigating that with 50,000 Chinese tourists. That is our day at the Louvre. Like, that, again, that was our day at the Louvre. And it was hilarious. We also went to Versailles. My mom really wanted to go to Versailles. We went to Versailles. Holy fuck, Versailles is cool. Here's the thing with Versailles. Versailles is really fucking cool. Unfortunately, there are 50,000 Chinese tourists, but we don't talk about the entire population of Beijing there. Like, you don't really think about Versailles is fucking huge. It is truly fucking massive. And yes, there are still elevator fucking awfulness. We tried with the elevators. I tried with the elevators. I got used to it. We didn't see probably half of Versailles because we couldn't find the fucking elevators and nobody was helping. Because one thing about France as well, in a lot of the museums, is that there are elevators in the back that go to every floor. Alright, cool, this is really handy. But you need a staff member to plug in their key to use them. On some floors. Yes, there are some places you don't need a key to go down or go to a floor, but you need a key to get back up. Yeah. Why is this there? Because we live in Crazy Town, and the French people do not deserve happiness. I do not believe it's fucking insanity. Yeah, it's nuts. We did see the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower was really fucking weird. They don't. I don't think Europeans know wheelchairs exist. Honest to God. I've had a couple friends in wheelchairs before. And I do not think you can live in, like, London. If you are in a wheelchair and do not have a helper with you constantly, I do not think you can live in London. Did you put them in the wheelchair? No. One had spina bifida and the other had really bad legs. But, yeah, like, you can't live in London with a wheelchair. No. You definitely can't live in Paris. Like, you definitely can't. The metro in Paris is fucking awful because they don't have any lifts, mind you. They have no elevators. It is just stairs, and everything in France is fucking spaghetti. This is important to know. Everything is spaghetti. How's the Metro of New York? Metro of New York, it's rickety, it's scary. You know what? I trust it. You're going to get to where you need to go, and it's pretty easy to navigate it. Let me see if we can find, like, the Paris Metro. Like, just to give you an idea of how fucky-wucky. Yeah, I promise it. To give you an idea of how completely fucky-wucky the Parisian you know, okay, this doesn't seem too bad. This seems like a pretty, all right. One thing to note, though, this is important. You see all of these different colors? Every single one of those has technically a different line. Let's say Gare de l'Est. This is where we were. So you see it's like, okay, you see there's that purple line, you see that orange line. There's a couple different lines here. All of those are technically on different places in the station. The purple line and the orange line will not go to the same station. They are different places. So if you want to go on the purple and you need to go on the pink, you will go up 2 flights of stairs one direction, down a flight of stairs another, and you will be there. It's completely different than if you want to go on the purple line. Then it's go down 2 flights of stairs, go up another flight of stairs, take a left, take a right, take a left again, and then go all the way down 2 more sets of stairs, and then you're there. It's fucking bizarre. Extremely efficient, though. Like, you want to, if I wanted to travel the same distance in London, it would be about 40 minutes. In Paris, it's like 15. They go fucking fast. It's fast, it's crowded, it's dirty, it's French. Yeah, it's fucking insane of how fast thing. The RER wasn't too bad. Like the big line, the big overland train wasn't bad. We finally got used to how they do the ticketing system, because the ticketing system in France is fucking retarded. Again, this is my like one thing with Paris. Paris is lovely. The architecture is flawless. The food's pretty good if you actually eat whatever overpriced shit they're trying to pock on you. It's great. Unfortunately, Parisians are there. And just to like highlight the first thing that really like set the tone for Paris is we were getting to our hotel, and while we're walking down the street, a man walks out, whips his dick out, and just pisses on the street in front of us. Not a single fucking care in the world. He's just taking a piss. And I'm like, welcome to Paris. Yeah, I was like, damn, I fucking love, I fucking love Paris, man. Yeah, no, it was, London was nice. York was very nice. York is a very beautiful place. If you ever go to England, York is a really nice place. It's very pretty. Lots of museums. Pretty easy to walk around. Got shit-faced there a couple times. Went to Liverpool. Liverpool sucks. Liverpool is truly the worst place ever. You need to go to India. Yeah. Now, here's the secret. I went to India, and it's called Britain. I never quite understood the joke of let's import infinity Indians, but legitimately speaking, every single place we saw people working, Indians were working there. It's very fascinating. It is extremely interesting. Any basic service job was from an Indian. And it was like, damn. The thing is, like with London was extremely fine. We stayed in Wimbledon and Hammersmith. Welcome back to America. How was your trip? Hope you had fun. Have you uploaded a game Saturday morning special? I don't believe I have. I don't believe I have. I thought I did it, but I realized I didn't. But, yeah, Paris was alright. How many Asians accosted you in London? None! Just, again, the entire population of Beijing at literally any fucking, museum. We went to British Museum. That was very fun. We went to, God, I'm trying to remember where exactly we went. We did a bunch of little stuff in London. British Museum is always perfect. I went to the Tate myself because the Tate Museum was really good. Let's see. There was, I think we went to the National. We went to the National History Museum. National History Museum was really fun. Went on a Disneyland ride, effectively. And then I saw an aquarium, which I thought was cool, and my mom didn't, because I like aquariums. Fun fact about your boy Notepad, he loves zoos and he loves going to aquariums. I like going to zoos and I like going to aquariums. I don't know. Oh, did you get mugged by a sand slur? No. None of that really. They were there. It was mostly, how do I want to word it? I know in France there were times where I never felt in danger in London. That was the funny thing. Never felt in danger. I felt pretty confident everywhere I went. Paris, not so much. There were places in Paris where I'm like, I'm going to get ready to square up. I'm fucking ready for it. Like, it was that. Paris was a very different place. That was the food. I got sick when I ate Parisian food, so I ate God-given food of KFC. Me and my mom literally had to eat a lot of the like fast food joints in Paris because we knew we could get the kiosk to speak for English. Because we tried to order, like, we went to a cafe. We went to like a French cafe not too far from. Okay, cool. Every single French cafe has the exact same menu and same shitty people, by the way. Just know that. We went there. We got food, and it was like, oh, okay. It was the most mediocre food available, and it was like $50 at the end of it. It was fucking insane. He overcharged us for everything. I fucking hate Indians. I mean, I fucking hate the French. And it was both. British food, we ate pretty good in England. My mom had fish and chips and reaffirmed that we both hate fish and chips. I do not like fish and chips. My mom does not like fish and chips. We tried it again. I'm like, I can't do it. This sucks. Good British pub food is pretty good. It's like sometimes it's nice to have just something nice and hearty. Didn't eat at too many pubs though. A lot of little places. I tried. It didn't work. And every time they're like, it's better elsewhere. I'm like, one out of three is not a good odds, man. I'm not doing it. Let's see. What was probably like the last night we were there? We actually had it was a burger place. Really fucking good. But I turned my mom onto Tesco meal deals. Now, for those who have never been to the UK, there are a thing called meal deals. Effectively their 7-Eleven, that's the best way I can kind of compare it, is Tesco. Tesco has meal deals. Why do I talk about Tesco meal deals? Because all you do with a Tesco meal deal is that you select a main, you select a drink, and you select a snack. That's all you do, and it's like $4. It is about $4. And it's not bad. For $4, you get a meal. And you can pick whatever the fuck you want. There are dozens of sandwiches you can choose from. This one was pretty good. The chicken, bacon, and stuffing sandwich. I like that one a lot. That was pretty fucking good. The tuna salad one was alright. Not perfect. You get a bunch of options. It's really fucking good. And nearly every place you go to has at least something like, and there's some good ones. Pretty awesome. It's pretty damn good. My mom got really turned on to those. So it's an eatery. No. How is it so cheap? Tesco's fucking huge. Like, you gotta remember. Like, you have to remember. Like, Tesco's fucking massive. They effectively just give it to you almost at cost. But they're selling so many of them, they're making money on it. It's pretty fucking good. And it's pretty reliable. They're not like, oh man, I'm getting a giant meal. No, it's a good, solid lunch. I fucking hate Norwegians. I fucking hate anyone from Scandinavia. Fucking hate. Yeah, Tesco's. Yeah, all the meal deals. My mom was having a blast. She loved the meal deals. And when we got back, she was immediately saddened that she couldn't get one. It's, Pubs. I love English pubs. I love pub culture. I like being able to sit in a place and just relax for a bit and drink and have some good fun. If you notice by the number of times I went on drunken tirades, you understand that I was Cheats, Royal Farm, Bucky's here. Edible food is always $12 a person. Same concept. Like, yeah, like you can get easy $5 a good. You get $5, you get a good meal. What's pub culture like? Some would let you do that, others not so much. Effectively, pub culture is you can go into a place, you can go into a pub, tap, get a beer, sit down, and just relax. And there are dozens of fucking pubs around. You can go to, like, literally, you walk down any street, there's going to be 2 or 3. Some are a little bit more some are a bit more party oriented, some are a little bit more low key. My favorite were the really low key ones, personally. I did go to a few clubs, but those kind of sucked. Oh, 23 euro. Fuck me. Making me hungry already. But, yeah, no, pub culture is fun just because it's very relaxed. I did get into a couple rowdy fights. Shit got shit-faced more than a few times. That's great. I realize I can drink like a fish. It's... yeah, no, you meet some interesting characters after that. But for the past 40 minutes, we've been talking nothing about except fucking Europe. So let's get back to business, because this is what we do best. So let me bring up my things I want to do. I got my big list of things Notepad wants to do. So before we begin, I'm going to go to I want to go to Notepad, and I want to go to Notepads. No, not oh god, everything is broken, by the way, because I haven't been on for so long. Notepad. Why don't I just go to Why don't I just go to my actual fucking website? Because it has it right here. List of things Notepad wants to do. So, let me find things that okay, the big think ideas. We're gonna hit that. Let's see, not Star Trek. I was watching a lot of Orville on my phone. There we go. Mist Rail Girls, yes. We can do that. I'm gonna put Trundlewood Forest here. Redwall game. Let me do Zap to the Extreme. Finally, a real Sonic game. Let's Musketeer. Now, if I'm typing a little bit weird, I haven't actually been typing all that much because I've been on my phone for the past 3 weeks. I've not been on a real computer for a while here. So if it looks a little bit odd, just understand I'm doing my best. I'm trying to get back to the let's Absolute insult to your project. We want to do... I fucking love the Border Princes. And that leads us to the adventure. Adventure Guild RPG. It's Mike's game. It's Mike's game. Sans Mike. Mike was a guy I knew back in the day. Buzzing 1 week. Yeah, I was having a... Yeah. Anyone? No. No one did. No one did get back to me. I want to make a magic with what's funny. Random people transforming into themselves, dressed in sailor outfit, or Steve from accounting moonlighting as kawaii anime girlfriend posting damage. Yeah, yes. Right, redneck survival, incursion fantasy, Sonic games need a morality. What this? Welcome to Zap to the Extreme! the true Sonic OC simulator. And yes, we will watch the entirety of Sonic cartoons leading up to that. Alright, so things Notepad needs to do. This is kind of a, like, we're kind of trying to get back into things, right? So that's kind of the current situation. What I can do. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Okay, so we got a few things what we need to do for the return tour. And I don't have a lot of days to do it, but we're going to be doing a stream every day. Kind of get us set up where we need to go. That is the current plan. The rest of this week is going to be kind of me trying to make things relatively sane back in my mind. It's just recovery. This happens with any trip any long trip you take, it will take about a week to feel like you're back alive. But, so, things we need to do. We need to start patching Fortissimo. Which is literally apply all my notes. Yeah, there we go. What does this mean? Cole has been very diligently working on a bunch of things. I'm going to be doing that. I also wrote a brand new investigation system on accident because Cole's notes. So, we're going to be doing that, which is going to be write the new investigation system. Cool. Cool. We need to start working on Arknights with dice. What is this? Arknights with dice is Arknights, but with dice. After doing some preliminary notes on it, one of the big things I realized with it is that Arknights with dice literally just needs to be a D20 game, D20 combat game. We are going to be basing it more off of Enfield rather than we're going to be basing it off of the original game. Alterna Kungari is always going to be based on the original property. However, Arknights with dice. What did I end up? Aurora Cohort. Name pending. That one's going to be almost entirely combat focused. A little bit more of like what's actually happening in the world. It's you cutting through a bunch of dudes. Why did I do that? I got the idea. We do need to do Redux, Alterna Kungari stuff. It's the fucking consult the fucking notes notepad. Again, everything's in my notebook here. These were like 3 a.m. delusions I would have. I'm like, I need to do all these things. Hee hee hoo hoo. Oh ho 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 ho. Let's see. We need to do some cruciform. Yeah, we gotta do some Cruciform updates, because there's a lot of Cruciform updates we need to do, and we also need to do some Metal Saviors updates. Fuck. Now, the big one, which we are going to be setting up today, we're not going to be working on it really much at all. We're going to be setting things up today, is that I have been somewhat forcefully drafted into a jam. Try making an Arknights game for Pathfinder 2. You realize he fucking hates Pathfinder. Yeah, don't worry. Time to lock in real. Iron Mask was the personal life in with Super Heroics. Ranting about the French, what I miss. We're just working on things. Why are you updating Metal Saviors again? We're updating Metal Saviors again, because people have been posting some good ideas, and I'm literally just gonna poach like 90% of Crusadia's work on it, because the secret is, everybody, good artists create, great artists steal. I'm just gonna fucking kneecap him. I wrote the original, it's not stealing anymore, I'm just making it mine. Like, I'm just gonna put a fucking 45 into his fucking kneecap. Look at what I made, everyone. It's even better this time. Don't look at this hack. I made it first. Bang, bang. Again, that's just how it goes. It's not my fault. You are canonizing. Again, he put in some notes that I'm like, that's not a bad idea. I should do that. Fantasy elements start bleeding into our reality. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's, it's not going to be major ones, just a bunch of little teeny tiny notes. This does lead us to, as I was saying, idea of being transitory in life, being corrupt in urban fantasy things, so you can have a high school graduate that failed to get in college. Multiple suggestions. Yeah, merely considering multiple suggestions. Yeah, pretty much. Not even gonna lie. Like, it's just not lying. But as I was saying, I was drafted into a jam that ends in 4 days. Mind you, this jam ends in 4 days. And now, what this was the Pointless Jam. Now, what is the Pointless Jam about? I don't know. It literally had no notes. When I look at people, when I'm like, okay, what's the point? And it's just like, so I was like, okay, it's literally just a pointless jam. That's the only requirements are it's pointless, it's difficult, and it's good. That's the only things that we need to do. So during my self-imposed exile from the United States, I came up with the perfect game. I made the perfect game that is both pointless, difficult, and good. I think I did, and I was asking questions about it, and I'm very surprised no one caught on to what I was making, because it is truly the worst thing ever I think I've created. Because I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, what do we need? What do we need? What is the most difficult, pointless, and good? Well, not even good. Doesn't need to be good. I get to make it good. What is that? What summarizes that? And there's only one game in this beautiful world that is that. Not the Yikty RPG. It's flawless. Well, I think the only true one is Starfield. It's like the Starfield TRP. You too can become Starborn, Dragonborn, Davo, Starokeen. And I thought about it, and I was like, this is the worst fucking thing ever. A fucking Starfield TRPG. Ultimate pointlessness. Ultimate difficulty. There is no benefit to doing this. But it's there, and I activated my almonds. My brain expanded out. because I watched a lot of videos on Starfield for some reason. And it's really funny how Starfield's fucking terrible. Like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? It's really fascinating. Correct. But this is a little bit of a weird challenge for me, because I have 4 days to do this. More likely, I have 3 days. I have 3 days to do the Starfield RPG. Why is this complicated? Well, the answer may surprise you. And the answer is because there's not a lot of time for that, and it's a very large game. But hey, you know what? That's what we do best here. We improvise, we make shit up as we go, and let's do Starfield with now with dice. And I started thinking about things with Starfield now with dice, and when Notepad starts thinking, bad things happen. Now, why do bad things happen when Notepad starts thinking? Because I start having to put things together. And when you start putting things together, you start realizing some very funny things in Starfield specifically. Because Starfield is made by lunatics. I have no other good explanation for like 80% of the decision-making process in Starfield. I legitimately do not have a good explanation. It's truly baffling how any of this shit got approved. And and it's fascinating to me in that way, because you learn so much about what makes Starfield such a shit show, and you begin realizing just, how do I want to word this? It's interesting purely in the fact that that is a game that has done every single thing wrong in a creative process, and I think that's really interesting. Really fucking weird to say that though. Like, oh man, you have done legitimately nothing right in the creative process. Here we are. Why are you? Why do you exist, Starfield? And the answer is, I think Starfield exists to spite God. You know, because you get things like, oh, you know, God loves us and all these things. I think Starfield is a testament that maybe God stays in heaven because he too is afraid of what he's created is taught how. Emil Pagurliro. Man, we need a video that trap. Let's see. No survival ship maintenance mechanics. How was the KFC? It was okay. So, as for the system, this is the thing that I wrote down. I had to rewrite all this shit. Now, also, below heading 1, we already have one, so technically this is what it is. If I were to... We were to apply a... Where's my lorem ipsum? Where's my lorem ipsum? Where is it? My dude. My goon shed. My goon. My. You don't understand. Every game, everything is a Dune reference. Right, hard. Barley. Yeah, barley. We want to keep it pointless. We want to keep this pointless. We want to keep this fast. We want to keep this as solid as physically possible. Barlow's a nice, reliable font. Barlow does its job. Always remember that. We don't need to do anything else. We need it to do its job. So, a couple things about the Starfield RPG. The Starfield TRPG experience. Because we're here, I can literally just make notes of it. Because I think that's always important to have notes. Because notes help you. And for me, because I forget. Starfield, Super Jam Requiem. So. Now, you may be thinking, Notepad, isn't making a Starfield RPG just making a Traveler RPG? The answer is, yes, somewhat. We are somewhat making a Traveler RPG. Because it's funny that way. Oh yeah, as a reminder, everybody, Paladins is also dead. Oh, a heading line. We could probably add a heading line. What's the resolution? Can you play an alien? No aliens, because there are no aliens actually in Starfield. That's the funny thing. Nope. Technically, everyone is here. Like, the one weird thing about Starfield, like, one thing that I want everyone to know about Starfield timeline, like, I just want to bring up the timeline on Starfield. So, 2100, 2050, we arrive in Mars. 2100, people are living in space. Okay, easy enough. So, let me, where's the, where is it? It was, yeah. To give you an idea, 2200, yeah, right there. 22, you know, we've only been in space for about 100 years. Like, we've been in space for 100 years. The concept of one of the big power players in setting have been around for 13 years. 13. There have been 2 gigantic wars. There was a fucking war. Like, yeah, that's like one of those weird things. Like, people have not been in space for very long. 100 years is not a long time. Billions of people did not vacuum time stranded on the doomed planet. Like, we just leave fucking people. We have no idea how many people actually made it out. This is like apocalyptic. Like, the actual, like, timeline where the game starts is 2330. Humanity has been in space for 200 years at this point. Roughly speaking. 200 years. Now, to kind of put it into context, we do not know how many people actually made it off Earth. We don't. Because it never really explains it. It never explains the size of ships or anything like that. Any of that. There is a potential that we are near extinction levels. We don't know, though. Literally, all the cities and shit could be to scale. Like, that's the fucked up thing. Like, that's the really fucked up weird thing. Is like, there are... How do I want to word? You need to write rules for the mechs that everyone agreed to stop using. And Xeno weapons. Yeah, don't forget. Like, that's the weird... Like, the weirdest thing with Starfield is, like, they say shit, and they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, what the fuck do you mean? What what do you fucking mean? Just don't worry about it, bro. Like, the fuck are you smoking? Literally, shit happens. And it's baffling because you're like, I'm trying to like go back and like find all the lore and stuff. I'm like, okay, let's find, and there just isn't. There are no aliens in Starfield. There are none. There are only human beings. There are alien life forms. Yeah, it's Emilio's right. That's the thing. There are alien life forms, but it's really just human beings. Very alien cultures in some ways, but at the end of the day, they're not actually that alien. It's weird they're like, oh, well, there's no religion or anything. 200 fucking years in space. Yeah, there's going to be some like, yeah, you're going to have maybe some orange Christianity, but like, yeah, no. So effectively, I am like trying to write out what this setting would look like, and it's really funny because it's slowly evolved, by the way. It's slowly evolved into effectively God, I'm forgetting it what it's called. Oh fuck, what's it called? The space game I went over. I want to say it's Eclipse Stars, but that's not it. Fuck, what is it called? Shit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Having a stroke. Help. High Colonies. There we go. I'm like, it's not. But yeah, it's effectively High Colony, but infinitely more fucky-wucky. And I'm like, okay, like, what can we do with this? High Colonies, yeah. Yeah, again, you get... it's such a basic name. That's why I think I like it so much. But I'm also like, High Colonies? That doesn't sound right. But yes, High Colonies. It's... because people had very human things there. And it was like, yeah, no, there aren't that many people. They didn't even have fucking aliens in there. There are no aliens in there. Like, the major players are still pretty young, all things pretty young, all things considering. And it's like, oh man, wow, cool. Like, I'm not even really going to I'm not even going to like talk about Starborn, because Starborn are such like a non-entity. What do you mean? That's the entire point of the game. They don't matter. Like, that's the funny thing. It legitimately does not matter. Because what are you gonna fucking do? They are literally space being. They are literally space Jesus. You are never going to encounter them. Except if I have my complete rewrite of Starfield, but that's just a me thing. I do not understand too much. The thing is, the United Colonies, the actual, like, if I were to bring up the United Colony, you could kind of say these guys are like, oh, it's a meritocratic federal republic. It's effectively like Star Trek, because that's what he wrote it as. New Atlantis, which again may be to fucking scale, I don't know. New Atlantis in the entirety of the UC, they are effectively the Federation from Star Trek, except everyone, like, it's more like Star Trek Discovery Federation, where we're not allowed to like anybody and everyone's an asshole. That's literally it. The Freestar Collective is Space America, or Space Americana. And that's why everyone looks like cowboys and things like that. And literally, it's just, I'm going to have to write in there being like, yeah, the Freestar Collective do believe these things, literally because they are LARPing as their founder. That is literally it. We are LARPing as our founder. Which, it's really weird, because some of the weird lore inconsistencies of Starfield make a lot more sense if you think everything is the scale. Why are there so many raiders? We literally put more prisoners in space than anyone else. That is why there are a fuck ton of raiders in space. Because we have literally made infinite prisons worth of these guys. Oh, well, they're the storied history. Yeah, the Crimson Fleet's like 50 years old. Like, one of the major antagonistic factions of the game are about 50 years. They are not very old. Like, why are there only like a dozen rangers? Because you literally do not need that many rangers. You do not need that many. Because there are effectively 20 people. This does lead to a few very weird conversations about what fleets look like. Because you have to remember, if the raider to citizen population is 51, then aren't the raiders technically the average person? Yeah, that's the weird thing. But that's effectively what happens. Like, there are raiders literally everywhere in Starfield. The furthest reaches of the known galaxy, there are fucking pirates out there with a base that they built. Like, that's the average person. Uncivilization is... It's really weird if you just take everything at face value. It becomes a hilariously dystopian setting. Like, a vast majority of people are actually just have criminal backgrounds. Their family was born into crime because they can trace their ancestral legacy not back to founding colonists or heroic people. They trace them back to a fucking prison database. Think about how fucking weird that is. That just, like, even think about, like, oh yeah, I can literally trace my family lineage back to a prison database entry because you have to keep track of all the prisoners that broke out. So yeah, that's your family registry, is registering them a fucking, inmate number. And imagine being born aboard effectively a prison ship, a prison station in the middle of nowhere. Congratulations, you're born. They're not gonna fucking take you in. They're gonna give you a number. Congratulations, you're prisoner 16, 17, 13, whatever. I'm calling this just a bunch of raiders to act civilized. Like, part of me wants to do something like that. What do you mean, like, oh, it's just like they have to act civilized? It's like, yeah, there are people who have just established themselves as normal people, but they're also like, oh, what ship did you come on? Well, we didn't. I was born in a fucking prison colony. Like, because you also have to remember, the UC has 2 major cities at this. Actually, they barely even have 2 major cities. Because one of the most important cities that they have, Londinium, is gone. The entire settlement, this is a fairly large city, is gone. All of them are just destroyed. Why are they destroyed? Because of xenomorphs. Well, terror morphs. Terror morphs. Those are also stupid. But, like, there's a lot of weird shit with Starfield. Like, a lot of weird, like, a lot of weird things you don't think about. But you sit there for a second and you're like, am I losing my mind? Because do you interpret this as New Atlantis? Or do you interpret the in-game experience? Because there's always the idea of, like, oh, there's scale and stuff. But even, like, Neon. Neon's not big. This is like a major city in the setting. It's not big. Like, that's a ship dock right there. And, like, yeah, that's not a big place to live in. Like, oh, yeah, look at here. It's like a big market. Like, yeah, walk 10 feet and you're in a completely different area. Even like Aquila City. Like, Aquila City is a fucking place with a goddamn actual wall on it. It has an actual fucking wall. But yeah, that's not huge. This is a major city. Aquila City is like fucking small. But you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? Because Aquila City is like 100 years old. It's fucking tiny. And how many prisoners died from other That's like one of those weird things. They just, again, they don't talk about things like that. Like, one of the weird things... How do I want... Like, one of the weirder things they don't talk about a lot is what an actual military ship looks like. Because you never see an actual real military ship in Starfield. You never see one. You see your ship, but is this a real ship? Is this a real one? Because if it's a real one, this is so much more massive than literally anything you can have. Like, ships aren't huge, relatively speaking. Like, the Frontier, I kind of put it up to scale, roughly speaking. And I actually have my notes here for my hab modules. And all my, let me bring up my... I did some math with ships. Because I had to, because my autism was hitting. And when my autism hits, I have to do stupid things. And do awful math in my head. So... here we go. Effectively, in Starfield, ships are rated from A, B, C, and M. A ships are small, and they are very agile. Roughly speaking, I'm saying you can have a crew of 4 in an A-class ship. A C-class ship is the largest one a player can have access to. And roughly speaking, if you are just with crew, just with everything, you're looking at maybe a crew of 12 to 15. That is now, the absolute largest is M-class. Players in the game cannot actually pilot M-class ships. I would be saying you can probably have a crew of maybe 30. And that's if you have a lot of hab mod. Now, these are ships that you can just buy, and the ones you actually see, they do not talk about military ships at all. Because of the nature of how the game functions, you have to be able to get inside every ship effectively to pilot it. So you only have the ABC ships, really. Any M-class ship you find is technically one you can only blow up or raid. This leads to an interesting situation where they do not actually have the premise of a standardized military ship. That just doesn't exist, I think. Being like, I think these are smaller ships. I don't think they have anything like big. Like, you can kind of see, some of these ships. Like, if we're taking, like, Homeworld, for example, which, yes, I did have to consult Homeworld quite a bit for this game. Like, Homeworld ships are fucking huge. Like, to just put it to scale, that's a Higara ship. That thing is fucking massive. Each of these have about maybe a crew of 1 or 2. This is massive. Like, just to put it into scale kind of thing. But these are also military ships. That's a fucking mothership. Look how large that thing is. Look how, in comparison to some of these other ships, which may have crews of, a couple dozen. Maybe 1, maybe 2 people. But even like a destroyer has a crew of multiple people on it. I don't think Starfield has the technology for a mothership. I think they can go upwards of this size. But I genuinely don't know. Like, it's really weird to kind of think about some of the scale with some of them. basically the size of an actual city. Honest to God, I think I'm going to put it into perspective. New York City. The population of New York City is 8.2 million people. That's not a lot, relatively speaking. Let's see, most populated city in the world, Tokyo, Japan, with 37 million people. Okay, Mumbai, 12, Dhaka, 21, Jakarta, 11. Okay. I think a vast majority, actually, I would say the main city, the absolute main city of New Atlantis, maybe has a population of 2 million. Maybe. And that's about it. Because I genuinely do not know how else to function. And just to kind of wrap your head around that, that's fucking nothing. That's so... Houston. Yeah, it's fucking Houston. It's Dallas, almost. That's the largest city in the entire setting. That's something that's interesting. That is one of the largest cities in the entire universe. Imagine Dallas, fucking Chicago, being not the largest city in a state, the largest city in the galaxy. And I'm even trying to put in the average, you have to scale things up. Because I do in Oblivion. In Oblivion, the Imperial City is stupidly tiny. It's little. It's a little tiny city. But you have the imagination to say, I'm going to scale this up internally in my mind. You scale it up with your own imagination to kind of get a better idea of, oh, the Imperial City is fucking huge. There are thousands of people walking around. It's there are a million, there are thousands of people walking around the city. It is dense. It is urban. It is, you're walking through and you can, it's claustrophobic. You get that sense even just walking through Oblivion City, the Imperial City, you feel that you are in a city. And you mentally, inside your head, you scale it up a little bit. Why? Because, even something like Whiterun. Whiterun isn't very large, but you get the feeling that it's a larger city than it left. Why? Because you have the limitations of the game. The limitations of the game says Whiterun is, is only this large. But, it's only this large, but you're imagining that it's a lot bigger. Every NPC is 100 NPCs, 100 people, things like that. You are getting that impression. And I think, again, Skyrim and Oblivion do a really good job. Morrowind does a fantastic. Let me see. Even the city of Vivek. Morrowind does an amazing job of making its cities feel fucking huge. You can get lost in Vivek. You can get lost in literally any city in Morrowind. Because they're huge. Now, mind you, they're not that big if you really look at the map size and you're looking at... They're not that big. But they feel huge. They feel big. And you feel like this is a fucking city. There are thousands of people in the city. I just don't see them because I'm playing a video. But you get that impression. Look at the population in the 19th century. From metropolis should look like 20 million, very habitable, and some limits of technological infrastructure. Yeah, exactly. Zelda, you can forgive things like Zelda, and you can't have hundreds upon thousands of NPCs. I get that. I mean, that's completely. I can't blame a video game for being a video game, but you can put that in your imagination a little bit. Starfield, legitimately speaking, I do not know. Because you could come out saying there are literally, like, the largest city in the galaxy is 2 million people. And I would completely believe you. And it would create an extremely... If I were to say, in the entire galaxy, hundreds of planets, all of these people, if I were to say to you with complete confidence, there are the largest city has 2 million people in it. If I were to say that has 2 million people in it, that sets a very different tone. It does, doesn't it? The largest city in the entire galaxy is 2 million people, and they're barely making it fun. There's people in poverty because we can't afford to do this. This is a half-complete city. Like, we have to wait till we get more fucking people in because we don't have enough room because the city was built for no one, pretty much. Fuck, like, we're trying to build this super futuristic city, but we don't have the room, we don't have the population. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, even Aquila City. Aquila City should be one of the largest cities in the entire, setting. And it's not. It's really small. It's guarded by a fucking wall, for God's sakes, with a bunch of cowboy larpers. But you do that, and you're like, oh, okay. The capital of... The center point for humanity now is 2 million people. You have this largest center of humanity now is 2 million people. That really paints a different picture, doesn't it? If I were to say, though, here's the thing. If I were to say, well, New Atlantis has a population of 200 million. There are 200 million people living in New Atlantis because New Atlantis literally covers half the planet. It is this gigantic thing and it just spreads out. 200 million people taking up, 50% of a planet. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. All right. It's a giant city. It's a city that's spread out so much. Oh, that changes things. Yeah, that's way too sparse. Still, that's the funny thing. It's way too sparse. Like, it's such a weird thing to kind of put in your head because they don't give us population numbers. Obviously, they don't give us population numbers. They don't give us any of that information. And you kind of sit there and you're thinking, like, what the fuck? How does this work? And that's one thing I've been trying and struggling a lot, actually. Unironically, I've been struggling a lot with this for this game. And it's very unintentional. That's, I think, the worst part. I think it's very unintentional. Now, the core system, my basic idea was a 2d10 plus skills. Very simple, very easy. Not D100, 2d10. Why 2d10? We got the curve, we got skills. That's pretty much my basic idea with it. Nothing too extravagant. I didn't really want to keep things too wacky or different. Playing it safe with this one is, I think, way more important than it. Now, the big idea, though, is that we have attributes and we have skills. Now, what do I mean by attributes and skills? So, attributes, here, our attributes are physical, social, science, combat, and tech. These kind of act as our caps, you could say, to our skills. If I go over here to my skills, each one of these is a... You could think of that each one of your attributes kind of feed into your skills. So if I have a physical of 4, so let's say I have a physical of 4. That means my boxing skill can only have a maximum of 4. I could have 2 in it, I could have 3 in it, I could have 4 in it. I don't know what I have in it. But I can only reach a maximum of 4. That's my potential. I increase my physical to 9. That means I can have 9 boxing skill. But I could have a 0 because I just don't use boxing. I'm a strong guy. It doesn't mean I'm good at fist fighting people. That's kind of the idea. So what's the gameplay loop? Basically, it's almost the Starfield gameplay loop. You're a bunch of people, go out and do adventures, get fucking paid. It's the standardized traveler experience TMCR. What do I mean by that? It is space adventures, because really that's what Starfield is. It's a space adventure. If you remove everything from Starfield, all the Starborn nonsense or whatever, all that it is there was a war not too long ago. Yeah, I got the big colony war not too long ago. Everyone's kind of recovering from it. Do things. Make money. Fuck people. Fuck up people. Get eaten by fauna or whatever. Kind of your, do as thy will. Do you need anything else to that? No, the setting is open enough for that because there's so little detail. That's the funniest part, I think. There is so little detail in the setting. You can kind of add whatever you want in it, with the only caveats being there are only humans. We have this kind of level of technology. This is how you do things. Easy. Hey everyone, we gotta pay off this shit. Hey everyone, we're a bunch of Varun zealots. Praise the great fucking snake god. Because don't forget, there's a giant snake god. Why does 2d10 sound more appealing to me than 1d20? Guessing that would... So, stars without number. Just worse. Yeah, and written by me. I, the Notepad Anon. The greatest gamer of all time. So, effectively, we got our attributes. These play into our skills. Each skill is going to be improved. What I want to do here is the idea of natural improvement. Because I like the idea of natural. I want to keep using that. The concept behind a natural improvement is, I'm boxing. Punch, 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 punch. Cool, I've checked the box. At the end of session, my boxing goes up by 1. Cool, punch, 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 punch. Oh, hey, I only have 4 physical. I cannot increase my boxing anymore until I increase my physical. So you have kind of the idea that, well, I don't want to keep using the same skills all over again because I'm going to reach a point where they don't do anything anymore. What do we do? Well, I gotta do it. I want to do other things. I want to improve myself in other areas. People are going to be more suited for certain things than others. Easy enough to understand. Now, flip my notes here. So, I'm going to do I had this very obtuse idea. This was going to be kind of my obtuse concept, which I'm going to call Starfield skills. Starfield skills versus functional skills. Now, these are 2 very different creatures, and I'm going to explain them the best I can. Let's do basic functional skills. The basic concept behind a functional skill system is easy. Everything has probably about 6 skills per attribute, and there are going to be pretty much specializations. What's a specialization? Once you hit a certain point, you're not really getting any better at it. What you're trying to do at that point is trying to get better at specific things. I have gun 3, I cannot improve my gun skill anymore. So I'm going to start improving my pistol skill, so I get a plus, that's kind of the idea.